Hello viewers, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on the time you are seeing this video. We have a problem here on the board. Someone sent this to me to make R the subject of the formula, of this formula. We have S equals to 2 pi R into H plus R. So how do we make R the subject of the formula? Making a particular variable or letter the subject of a formula is taking it out to making it stand alone and relate with other variables or letters. So how do we make R the subject of this formula? This is the total surface area of a closed cylinder. So let's solve this together. Have solution. S equals to 2 pi r into h plus r. This is the total surface area of a closed cylinder. So in this case, we have to make out the subject of this formula. So the first thing that we are going to do is to open the brackets. So if I open the brackets, we have S equals to 2 pi r times h, that will be 2 pi r h, plus 2 pi r times r, that will be 2 pi r square. You know, r times r will be r square. So we have 2 pi r square. Now, if I arrange this properly, I want to write this first before writing this, trying to arrange it. Okay, so I will have 2 pi r square plus 2 pi hr equals to s. I have not changed anything. I'm just trying to arrange it properly. So now if I take this to this side, I'm going to have 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi hr minus what? S equals to 0. Now if you check this equation properly, if you check it very well, you'll see that this equation is looking like a quadratic equation of degree 2. You know, quadratic equation is an equation of degree 2. The highest power of the variable here is 2. So it is a quadratic equation. If you compare this, compare the above equation with this, with ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. You see that this, in this case, our a is this place and our x squared is this r squared. Then b is this 2 pi h. Then our r is this x, while our c is this minus s. So I can say that our a is equal to 2 pi, b equals to 2 pi h, and c equals to minus s. Alright, so I will use this to solve this quadratic equation, trying to make out the subject of the formula. Now, you know, quadratic equation can be solved using the formula method, can also be solved using the completing the square method, can be solved using the graphical method. So in this case, I want to use the formula method because that one is very fast. Okay, so if you can recall that the formula for solving any quadratic equation is x equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over what? 2a. So in this case, our x is equals to r. I didn't put that. Okay, so if you check this, our r is our x. So we will just carry out substitution in this formula and everything will be solved. Alright, so if I write this, that r is our x is now r equals to minus, you know, b is this 2 pi h. So I'll write 2 pi h here plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is our 2 pi h, then squared minus what? 4. Our a is 2 pi. All right, and C is minus S. So I'll write minus S. Remember, the square root is covering everything, all over 2 times 2 pi, 2 pi, 2 pi. You know, our A is 2 pi. So that is done. Now it's just for us to simplify that and everything will be solved. The R will be made, is already made the subject of this formula. So it's just for us to simplify this, and that is the answer. So R here will be equals to minus 2 pi h plus or minus the square root. You know, this is according to laws of indices. This power of 2 is affecting everything in this bracket. So it's going to be here 2 squared is 4. Pi is going to be pi squared and h squared minus, no, minus 4 times 2 pi times minus s will give us plus 8 pi s. Okay, all over 2 times 2 pi will give us 4 pi. 4 pi. So that is it. We can still simplify this further. This can still be simplified if I take this out. Okay, R equals to minus 2 pi h plus or minus the square root. Or if you check this very well, you know, I can take 4 out, because though pi is also common, but let me take 4 pi out because it is common. We have 4 here, we have 4 here. We have pi here, we have pi here. So 4 pi is common. So we can take it out, we can factorize that. So that would be 4 pi into pi h squared plus 2s. Okay, all over 4 pi. All right. So if I find the square root of 4, the square root of 4, you know, if I find the square root of 4, it is 2. The 2 can come out from the square root. So if the 2 comes out from the square root, this is what we are going to have. So we have this square root of, this 2 will come out because the square root of 4 is 2. So 2 is coming, 2 is coming out from this square root. So we are going to have pi times pi h squared plus 2s all over 4 pi. Now we can still factorize this. You know, this 2 is also common here. So if you factorize that, we have 2 square bracket minus pi h plus or minus the square root of pi into pi h squared plus 2s close bracket all over 4 pi. Why am I doing that? I'm trying to see how I can reduce this formula to the simplest possible form. Okay, so this can cancel this. You have 2. So the final answer here will be that R, the final answer here to be R is equals to minus pi h plus or minus the square root of pi into pi h squared plus 2s all over what? All over 2 pi. This is the answer. So that is the answer. So to make R the subject of this formula, S equals to 2 pi R into H plus R, which is the total surface area of a closed cylinder, the formula, the answer is R equals to minus pi H plus or minus the square root of pi into pi H squared plus 2S all over what? 2 pi. That was very simple. See you next time. Thank you.